Have you ever loved someone so much you thought you died? Giving so much of yourself, it seems the only way. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to yet another video. If you're new here, I am Bree, and you are watching yet another edition of As Told by Bree. And as y'all can tell by the title, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, tonight, we are going to be going through date night ideas that you guys can take into consideration for Valentine's Day or any date night that you may have planned in the future. I got a lot of questions on this on Instagram. People were asking me where to go, what to do for date night. So listen, I got y'all. While I give you guys date night ideas, I'm also going to be making some strawberries. So we have chocolate covered strawberries here. Usually I do two different types of chocolates, but this time I only have what is left over because my boyfriend and I made chocolate covered strawberries last week. I only have this chocolate left over, but we can still make it do what it do, okay? So let me go through everything that you're gonna need to make these chocolate covered strawberries. First and foremost, obviously, strawberries. You're gonna need chocolates of some sorts, whether you wanna use chocolate chips, chocolate melts, totally up to you. I usually like to use regular milk chocolate with white chocolate as well. You're going to need, what are these called? These are called parchment sheets for when you start decorating your chocolate covered strawberries. I like to use a measuring cup. Y'all will see what this is for later. I also prefer to use toothpicks, and you're gonna need just a little bit of vegetable oil. Not much, a little bit to do the trick. Oh, and you're also going to need a small pot, or however large or small you want your pot to be. You can use a pot just as long as your bowl is small enough to fit on top of that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into these date night ideas, baby. And I'm also sipping on this cocktail that I made. It's actually not a cocktail. There's nothing special about it. It's just champagne and raspberries. But yeah, it's a little concoction I made. Okay, so I'll sip on that while I do this. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First, a date night idea that y'all can incorporate for Valentine's Day. And while I'm telling y'all these, I'm gonna start making these chocolate covered strawberries. First, I like to just stick a toothpick in these. It just makes it easier for me when I start dipping them to grip and dip and do all of the things. First and foremost, our first idea on our date night list, you can go to the gun range, okay? And gun range dates, I've actually never been on a gun range date, but I think that would be fun and low-key kind of romantic. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, a lot of gun ranges will offer couples training, and they'll offer it as like a date night package. Usually they'll give you a discount if you have two people. So I recommend reaching out to your local gun range and just asking them if they do offer couples date nights. Well, not couples date nights, but couples training classes. The one that I go to is in Covington. It's called Bass Reeves Gun Club. I was introduced to them through an event. They do an event every month called Ladies' Day. So it's a day for ladies to come out. They give you gun training, they go through the whole spiel, and then you're able to shoot around, and you don't have to have your own firearm if you ain't strapped yet. But I do recommend it if you're going on like a girls' day or you're looking for something fun to do as a girls' day out as well. I recommend going to the gun range. I also want to say, last year I made a video about date night ideas. So also reference that one because I gave 10 date night ideas on that video as well. So anything that I may not mention on here may be on that video, maybe in that video. So I definitely recommend checking that one out as well. Okay, if you live in Atlanta, y'all, I know y'all seen that big Ferris wheel downtown by Centennial Park. That is a great intimate date night idea. I would love to go to the Ferris wheel. In all my 5 years of living in Atlanta, I have not been to that Ferris wheel, y'all, which is actually kind of insane. But if you're looking for something to do, I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend this as like a first date, or maybe it would be a cool first date because it would give you nothing but space and opportunity to talk and get to know each other, okay? But yeah, if you're looking for a very intimate date night where you can have like lots of good conversation, I recommend doing a Ferris wheel. And there's also a new restaurant called Polaris. Well, let me not say new because it's not a new restaurant, but they recently just reopened. It's a restaurant in Atlanta called Polaris. And if you're not located in Atlanta, you may also have it in your city. It's like a rotating restaurant, if you would. So Polaris literally sits on top of the Hyatt, and I'm talking, I don't know how many floors up it is, and it's a rotating restaurant and bar. Very grown, very, very sexy. And I recommend it if you're looking for like a very romantic date night. Like if you're trying to impress somebody, okay, take it to Polaris or whatever the equivalent to Polaris is in your city. Okay, one step I did forget to mention, make sure you wash your strawberries. Like, I think that goes without saying, but listen, sometimes you just never know. Like, I've already washed my strawberries. Everything is washed and good to go. Alrighty, so the next date night idea is a fragrance making class. And I actually did this in a vlog. My boyfriend and I, we went to a spot called Indie House and we made our own fragrances. So that was a lot of fun. That's also super intimate, very cute, very creative. They're usually pretty expensive, but nonetheless fun. And I actually still have my fragrance. The name of my fragrance was Under the Influence and his was Drunk Text. So yeah, good times, good times. So yeah, a fragrance making class, especially if you're trying to impress a woman, take her to a fragrance making class, sweep her off her feet. Alrighty, y'all, so I was waiting on our water on the stove and our pot to come to a boil. So it looks like we're up and running. We're boiling. So this is what we're gonna do. We're going to get our chocolate chips and we're going to take a spoon, whatever spoon you see fit, and we're just gonna get 2 capfuls of the vegetable oil and we're going to drizzle it over the chocolate chips. 'Cause you are, I love you. Okay, y'all, so our chocolate is almost pretty much completely melted. I'm almost done with it. So you want to make sure not to overcook your chocolate because the chocolate can burn and then you have a whole nother problem in itself. Oh my gosh, this actually looks really good. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so the next idea that we have on the date night list, this is actually more of like a date weekend, but you could make it a date night. You could go on a cabin trip. I've never been on a cabin trip. I'm actually planning on going on one next month, so I'm excited about that. But I recommend going on a cabin trip. That'll be something cool and intimate. They have a lot, like in a lot of the rural areas, a lot of cabins to where y'all can go and catch a vibe, even if y'all just go overnight. Like if y'all take a little day trip to somewhere that may be like maybe 2 or 3 hours away from you, an hour or 2 away from you, and y'all just go and catch a vibe. So yeah, let me show you how it's looking. Oh yeah, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Okay, so I'm about to take this off because I don't want it to burn. Now I know I found it in you. I found it in you. 'Cause you are, I love you. chocolate in a cup because for me, it just makes an easier dipping experience. We're gonna get our parchment paper. Who made up that name? Like, what is a parchment? So yeah, so we're basically just gonna dip the strawberries in the chocolate. Simple as 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. Ooh. This one is one that I haven't done yet, but I'm rolling my sleeves for this because this can get a little messy. This date night idea is something I haven't done yet, but I still want to do. A date night in another city, baby. So, yeah, this is an opportunity for you and your partner to go experience a date night in another city, get a hotel, make reservations, and make it do what it do. So, we're just dipping the strawberries into the chocolate. Twist it around. It's very simple, y'all. I like to cover the entire strawberry. So, yeah, the entire strawberry is pretty much covered on this one. I have a little white space, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. This is just for demonstration purposes. Like, it's just not rocket science, you know what I'm saying? I was actually looking at a date night at another thing. There was this really romantic boat ride, and it was owned by a Black-owned company in Tampa. Super romantic. You could do a paint and sip on the water. They'll cater dinner on the water, but ride through the river. Nice music, nice ambiance. I wanted to do that, and flights to Tampa at the time were cheap. I don't know how y'all feel about Spirit and Frontier. I know there's like a whole like debacle about why people don't like Spirit and Frontier. But if you don't mind Spirit or Frontier, baby, you can catch a very cheap flight. When I was looking, flights to Tampa were round trip from Atlanta to Tampa. Flights were less than $40. Listen, for a little overnight trip, baby, Frontier me. If I can go on a date night in another city, because like, who wouldn't want to do that? Alrighty, so next up on the list, we have a bourbon tasting. So this is a lot of fun. You can go bourbon tasting, whiskey tasting. In my last video that I did, I mentioned wine tasting, champagne, whatever your heart desires. But that'll be cool. It'll give y'all a way to be interactive, get a little lit, and have a good time. I recommend bourbon tasting or whiskey tasting. Okay, up next on the list, you can do a mixology class. And these are always fun. Like, who doesn't like a mixology class? In Atlanta, there's a really good one called Pour Up Atlanta. That's the one I went to in my vlog a couple weeks ago. I have a discount code if y'all are interested. My discount code is BREE2023 if y'all are interested. So we're gonna put these in the fridge. That way they can harden a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to see if I can do a layer of zigzag on top of them. The only reason I'm putting them in the fridge first is because we only have one chocolate. So I wanna let this harden a little bit. That way you can actually see the difference when I do the lines on top. Usually I would use white, and obviously I would do the white right now so that it would show, but we don't have that luxury right now. So we're just gonna make it do what it do. Okay, so the strawberries are in the fridge. I'm about to take them out, but I just want to say I used the time while I let the strawberries dry a little bit and harden a little bit in the fridge. I used that time to clean up the kitchen. So as y'all see, there are no dishes in the sink. There are no dishes in the sink. Everything has been washed. There are no dishes. Nothing. I need to clean off my stove, but I did all of the dishes. So use your time wisely, baby. Plan your time out, because the dishes, these make for very messy dishes. These can actually be very messy, especially if you're doing them with kids, but the dishes are a task. The chocolate gets really sticky and really hard and sticks to the bowl, so you gotta like really clean. So a lot of time for that, because that is going to be, in fact, a task. Okay, y'all, I let these sit for about 5 minutes. And they're pretty much dry enough now to where I can start to decorate them. So, like I said, I'm just gonna go in and drizzle them. Normally I would drizzle them in white, but because we only have milk chocolate, I'm going to drizzle them in the same milk chocolate. So let's get into it. Okay, and you're gonna wanna cut a tiny hole. When I say tiny, I literally mean tiny. Like, tiny. Yeah. If you think the hole is too big, it probably is. Okay, y'all, this is how our zigzags came out, and then of course we gonna drape the top part back over. But yeah, so we're gonna do that to all of them, and then we're gonna put them back in the fridge. Alexa, pause. Okay, y'all, I got so caught up in those strawberries, I forgot to tell y'all about the date night ideas. So, a few more that we have. We have painting with a twist. That's an obvious one. That's a given. If you've never done painting with a twist, are you living under a rock? Go ahead and do painting with a twist. Or you could do like an at-home paint and sip. Yeah. They have a lot of really cool Black-owned ones that have like good music and the vibes. You can always go to a drive-in movie. Drive-ins are always a good time. Really intimate, really romantic. You can do an at-home spa date. So maybe get like some white robes that you would see maybe at a luxury hotel or maybe at a spa. Maybe get you guys some skincare, some wine, or some champagne, and just have like an at-home spa night, super relaxing at-home date night. You can always go to a candle making workshop. I went to one last year. I can link it down below, and it was a blast. We had a blast, also Black owned. And everything that I'm referencing, I will link something down below that coincides with the date night experience that I'm talking about. Okay, I saw this one on Instagram last night and I was like, oh my God, that's so creative. You can go to a DJ class. I think that would be really cool. That's something I would personally love to do just for kicks and giggles. Go to a DJ class and have a good time. All right, y'all, I just finished putting all of the drizzle on there, so now they are back in the fridge. We're gonna let those do their thing and then we'll pull them back out. All right, y'all, so this is how the chocolate covered strawberries came out. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. Am I a chef? Absolutely not. This was just for kicks and giggles and to give us an activity to do while we talked about date nights, okay? But yeah, the strawberries are done. I'm gonna fluff these out to make sure they fall a little bit more, but y'all get it, okay? Y'all get it. Alrighty, y'all, we have our chocolate covered strawberries. They are all done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I have a part 1 to this video that I did last year that has 10 date night ideas. Totally different from the ones that I mentioned in this video. So, like I said, I hope you guys like this video. I really enjoy making content in my kitchen and whipping things up for y'all. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Cheers.